Good morning, Pilgrim. Reason. Today's subject is reason, I think. Today's devotion. 2 Kings 5, verse 1 through 14. Naaman, commander of the army of the kings of Syria, was a great man with his master and in high favor, because by him the Lord had given victory to Syria. He was a mighty man of valor, but he was a leper. Now the Syrians, on one of their raids, had carried off a little girl from the land of Israel, and she worked in the service of Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, "Would that my Lord were with the prophet who is in Samaria. He would cure him of his leprosy." So Naaman went in and told his Lord. Thus and so spoke the girl from the land of Israel. And the king of Syria said, "Go now, and I will send a letter to the king of Israel." So he went, taking with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and 10 changes of clothing. And he brought the letter to the king of Israel, which read, "When this letter reaches you, know that I have sent to you Naaman my servant, that you may cure him of his leprosy." And when the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his clothes and said, "Am I God to kill and to make alive, that this man sends word to me to cure a man of his leprosy? Only consider and see how he is seeking a quarrel with me." But when Elisha, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel had torn his clothes, he sent to the king, saying, "Why have you torn your clothes? Let him come now to me, that he may know that there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman came with his horses and chariots, and stood at the door of Elisha's house. And Elisha sent a messenger to him, saying, "Go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored, and you shall be clean." But Naaman was angry, and he went away, saying, "Behold, I thought he would surely come out to me, and stand and call upon the name of the Lord his God, and wave his hand over the place, and cure the leper. Are not Abana and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Could I not wash in them and be clean?" So he turned and went away in a rage. But his servants came near and said to him, "My father, it is a great word the prophet has spoken to you. Will you not do it? Has he actually said to you, 'Wash and be clean'?" So he went down, dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan, according to the word of the man of God, that's Elisha, and his flesh was restored like the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. Yes, he spent a lot of time using human reason, and of course he was wrong. It's a good thing he listened to his servant. I have another reading from 2 Kings. That's what I just read. Oh, Pilgrim, I am so confused this morning. It's from Mark. Mark 12:18 through 27, or thereabouts. The Sadducees came to him, who say that there is no resurrection. And they asked him a question, saying, "Teacher, Moses wrote for us that if a man's brother dies and leaves a wife, but leaves no child, a man must take the widow and raise up offspring for his brother. Well, there were 7 brothers. The first took a wife, and when he died, left no offspring. And the second took her and died, leaving no offspring. And the third likewise, and the 7 left no offspring. Last of all, the woman also died, of course. So in the resurrection, when they rise again, whose wife will she be? For the seven had her as wife." So Jesus said to them, "Is this not the reason you are wrong? Because you know neither the Scriptures nor the power of God. For when they rise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. And as for the dead being raised, have you not read in the book of Moses, in the passage about the bush, how God spoke to him, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He is not God of the dead, but of the living. You are quite wrong. Again, human reason by the great thinkers of the world of the time. Yeah, we have so many great thinkers in the world today, the thinking elite. The elite. Oh, I get so sick of the elite. Charles Spurgeon gave a sermon on the 5th of February, 1860. Mr. Evil Questioning, Tried and Executed was the title. He read from 2 Kings 5:12, Are not Abana and Pharpar, rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean? Yes, the reasoning of the fellow, the poor leper. Well, Mr. Evil Questioning sounds like a character from Pilgrim's Progress. Mr. Evil Questioning often boasts that he is the child of human reason. But I will let you know a secret or two about his parentage. Mr. Human Reason was once a very respectable man. He had a country seat in the Garden of Paradise. And he was then great and honorable. He served his God with all his might, and many a great and marvelous thing did he discover for the good of mankind. At that time he had a family. Yes, he had a family, and they were all like himself, right. They were right, good, and loyal. But after the fall, this man married again, and he took to himself one called Sin to be his partner. And this old evil questioning was one that was born after the fall. He was the son of Mr. Human Reason. He does not belong to the first family at all. The first family was not so numerous as the last. There was one called Right Judgment born at that time also. I hope he is still alive, and I believe he is. But the second family was very black and of tainted blood. They didn't take it all after the father, except in one point, that at the time of the fall, Mr. Human Reason lost his country seat at paradise, and together with the rest of the servants of Adam, he fell from his high estate. He became perverted and depraved. His children are like him in their depravity, but not in their power of reasoning. They take after their mother, and they always have a predilection for sin, so that they put darkness for light, and light for darkness, bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. The old gentleman never mentions his mother's name if he can help it. He always likes to boast that he is a lineal descendant of human reason, and so indeed he is, but he is a descendant of fallen human reason, not of human reason as it was in its glorious perfection. Now all the powers of Adam were by the fall spoiled and ruined. Yes, let's always beware of human philosophies and traditions. Colossians 2:8. See to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ. Yes, beware of the smart people's human reason, and beware of your own human reason, Pilgrim, as I attempt to always be. I fail quite often. I quite often think wrong. I have to go to the Lord in prayer. Say, Lord, hit me alongside the head with that 2x4 of yours. Straighten out my thoughts. Straighten out my reason. For your reasons are good. Mine sometimes are pretty unreasonable. So I'm rambling again. So I'm going to let you go and just say what I always say. God bless, Pilgrim. Have a great day.